Hey guys, welcome in or welcome back. Today we're going to be reading from the Two Worlds Path scripture that I compiled, and with the assistance of AI, which, by the way, I do want to say a little housekeeping before we continue. A lot of people have been saying, making videos or whatever about using AI and how it's destroying the environment. As far as I know, using social media uses more water than what the data centers use. Okay. Regardless, by feeding into this whatever narrative you want to call it, okay, you're essentially opening the door for them to use that as an excuse, because you're softening the minds of everybody around you, for them to use that as an excuse to actually take the water away. And then blame it on that so that people are less likely to riot because they're like, oh, like, we did it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's our fault, or it's like our fellow people's fault that we're using the AI. And then people are just going to turn on each other as usual, right? That's this whole polarization engineering that I was talking about yesterday. Okay? Stop giving them fucking excuses to take away our freedom by feeding into the narrative that they want you to purport. Is that the word? Propose? That's not the word. That they want you to project. We'll just say that. That's not the word I'm looking for, but okay? The world's made up of mostly water. And, where there's a will, there's a way. So, people need to just, learn how to get water naturally would be great. So you don't have to depend on the system. Which I guess maybe we should do. I was going to do the Book of Love today, but maybe we should do the Living Community. I don't know. Spirit said they wanted to do love, so I don't know. I feel like the world needs to have some love vibes going on. But hold on. Oh, and also, all you news anchors out there who like to smile as you're giving news about thousands upon thousands of people passing on to the other side, or whatever you want to call it, y'all are sick. Y'all are sick. And I also want to say that while we're on the topic of bitching about people being fucking stupid, I want to say that anyone who has a shit ton of money and you choose and tons of followers and a platform where you could seriously change the fucking world, and you choose to fill a fucking pool up with pickles and go swimming in it, do some dumb shit like that. What the fuck? Yeah, y'all chose someone real great to get famous, right? As usual. Don't fucking bitch about the world sucking when these are the motherfuckers y'all are choosing to be your leaders. Okay? These are the people that you choose to look up to. And by the way, anybody that I've like opted for in the past as a leader or whatever, like I'm rescinding all of that. I don't fucking support anybody at this current point in time. Everyone has let me down. Everyone has disappointed the fuck out of me. And I'm not putting myself up on a high horse because I'm not fucking perfect myself. But I definitely have shown a lot more self-control than most of these motherfuckers out here. Everyone just thinks it's a fucking joke. Like, everything's a fucking joke, and it's not funny. It's unfunny jokes. At least if you're gonna try to make a fucking joke, make it fucking funny, bro. All anybody knows how to do is make sexual jokes, like jokes about farting and shitting in people's faces, and like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? This shit's not even funny. Y'all are fucking stupid as fuck, bro. For real. Like, for real. Okay. I get it. Life sucks a lot of the time. It's very hard to be here. It's very hard, okay? And like, don't get me wrong, like, farting can be funny sometimes, but when people are being like disrespectful and like, let's say sexually, let's say to the dead, let's say, what else? When they're just blindly following the narrative to try to get followers, being fake as fuck. Oh, everyone's on this bandwagon, so I'm gonna jump right along. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's a great idea. Everyone's talking about the data centers destroying the environment. So now I'm gonna talk about it. How about we talk about the motherfuckers that are teleporting into people's houses? Because, like, honestly, if you don't believe or understand that the technology that they have divulged to you is not all the technology that they have, you're an idiot. They literally tell you that they have technology that's not released. So why do people automatically, as soon as someone says teleportation exists or something like that, they're like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, no. But yeah, let's talk about that. The people that are actually teleporting into people's houses and raping their children. Because why did I find holes in my son's underwear? My child that's diagnosed with autism. Why did I find a pill in my bathroom? Why did I find the top of a syringe at the bottom of my bed? Why did it feel like someone fucking hit me over the fucking head with a goddamn anvil? Why don't we talk about shit like that? So, oh, they're gonna take my water. Or, oh my god, like, what else do people like to talk about? Just the dumbest shit. The ego trips, man. Every time I fucking go view someone in the spiritual community, they're on a goddamn ego trip. I want to fucking choke you through the screen, bro. I got superpowers. If you have fucking superpowers, why don't you change the world and do something, bitch? Why don't you actually fucking do something? Because I don't see shit happening. You're so fucking cool though, right? You could fly around and shit. I have 17 years worth of recording of me doing phenomenal stuff that like I haven't released to the public. I'm gonna charge like $99.99 for you to view like 2 minutes of it. Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all are fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking egomaniac, motherfucking pathetic bitches. Can't take any fucking constructive criticism. Can't listen to a goddamn iota of actual sense. And can't stand up for anybody. I don't know. I don't understand how you motherfuckers sleep at night. I really don't. I really fucking don't. All right. Now that that's squared away, anything else, Spirit, that you want to say? Delusions broken about people who are trying to act like they fucking give a shit about collective humanity. Okay. This is all nothing new, and yeah, now we're fully fucking embarrassed, right, publicly? By the way, the whole farting thing, I wanted to say, there was a spirit that wanted me to share something that when they were a child, this like chick that was dancing around, it was the child ran into the living room and tried hiding. And then this chick that was like dancing around, she kind of reminded me of like the Olivia chick I've talked about a lot. She's like ballerina. It's like acting like a ballerina, like mad creepy, like that vampire movie with the daughter that's like a vampire, and they like lock all the people in the house, and then she gets sicked on them or whatever. It was kind of like that, and she like comes twirling around and literally, like, I experienced what the child experienced. It was fucking traumatizing. She essentially held them down, held me down, farted in my face, and then forced me to do cunnilingus, I can't say that word, on them. And said, ooh, do you like that or whatever? Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people like to make jokes about shit that they really need to be a little more fucking sensitive, because everything's not so fucking funny. And people say, oh, you're so sensitive. You need to be more sensitive. How about that? Fucking loser. Y'all are little bitches. Just because someone's sensitive doesn't make them a little bitch or make them weak. It makes them a lot fucking stronger than you, who needs jokes to survive, who needs that fucking comic relief all the fucking time to hear hard truths. That's why our world sucks so bad. Because all anybody does is make jokes about shit that should not be made jokes about. Ignore what really fucking matters. Not give a shit about anybody that's actually suffering. Instead, just follow the narrative and put them down more. Give the fucking assholes that have all the power more power. Yeah, that's real great. Good job, guys. Good job. All right, now let's learn about love here. If anybody's still watching. This is not my edited version that's on my website. So there might be some mistakes in here. I printed it out before I edited it. I'm not fucking printing it out again. I really don't give a fuck. So it is what it is. All right, source and humility note. This book draws inspiration from many peoples, cultures, religions, and living traditions. It does so with gratitude and with humility. Humility, something a lot of fucking people don't know what that is. All they like to do is showboat and be cowards. They see real strength, they see real love, and they fucking run and cower. How about we stop doing that? How about we stop being addicts and fucking drunks and actually help out the people around you? Actually use your gifts and talents and abilities to help the world. There's 8 billion people on this planet. If most of y'all, not even most of y'all, just even 3% actually fucking gave it their all, the world would be fixed like that. Okay. No description contained here should be read as exhaustive, universally applicable, or authoritative for the communities named. Practices vary by nation, lineage, region, family, denomination, historical period, and living teacher. Where the path receives a practice, symbol, or story from another tradition, it receives it as inspiration and teacher, not as possession. Walkers who wish to incorporate specific cultural or religious elements into ceremony are called to seek accurate sources, living guidance, proper permission where needed, and the counsel of those who belong to the tradition itself. Reverence requires more than admiration. It requires care, context, and accountability. Accountability is something a lot of people are too big fucking cowards to take. Prologue, the nature of the sacred bond. We did not come to this writing lightly. We came having loved, having lost, having been made new by both. We came knowing that love is the forge and the fire, the blade and the wound, the healing salve and the opened vein. We wrote so that those who come after us would know love is worth the full weight of it. The Remembrancers, from the prelude to the first telling. In the beginning of all the walkers' teaching, before naming of the arc forces and the drawing of the liminal map, which we skipped that book, we went ahead a book, okay? Before the doctrines of magic and the rights of defense, there was love. There was love, and it was the reason for all the rest. Love is not the sweetest thing the world contains. It is the most powerful thing the world contains. These are not the same. Let me say that again. Love is not the sweetest thing the world contains. It is the most powerful thing the world contains. These are not the same. Love has built civilizations. It has called the architect to draw the city and the farmer to cultivate the field. It has driven the scholar to write through the night and the mother to stand between her child and every darkness she could name. Love has built everything humanity has ever raised from the ground. Love has also destroyed civilizations. It has shattered kingdoms, broken lineages, turned allies to enemies, and driven the wise into the arms of the foolish. It has been the cause of wars that blackened the sky with grief for a generation. Love untended and unschooled is among the most destructive forces the walker will ever encounter. I'm going to say that again. Love untended and unschooled is among the most destructive forces the walker will encounter. It is for this reason that the path does not sentimentalize love. This book does not offer easy comfort. It does not tell the walker that love conquers all, that love is enough, that love makes all things right. These are the songs of those who have not yet been tested. The path speaks to those who have been tested and to those who will be. This book honors love's full weight and reality. It honors the soaring joy of new love. It honors the deep companionship of long committed love. It honors the grief of love's ending. It honors the complexity of love lived between imperfect people who are trying. It honors the love that heals and the love that wounds and teaches the walker to know the difference. The love that heals and the love that wounds. There is a difference. We define here the cornerstone of this teaching. The sacred bond is any relationship in which two or more souls commit themselves to one another's genuine good. Not merely pleasure, comfort, or desire, but what is truly and lastingly good for each soul involved. This definition is precise and demanding. Love may be warm and at times it may flow as naturally as breath, but at its sacred depth, it is a commitment to another's genuine good. The word genuine is the hinge of everything. Love is a commitment to another's genuine good. Genuine. Veracity. Being true. Being real. Being raw. Being honest. For the genuine good of another person may sometimes require difficult honesty. It may require setting a limit they do not welcome. It may require letting them go when holding on would serve only the one who holds. The sacred bond is not ownership. It is stewardship of another's soul, of another soul's flourishing. The sacred bond is not ownership. It is stewardship of another soul's flourishing. This book is the 12th in the Walker's canon. It is the companion. This part's not correct. It is the companion to book blah blah blah, which concern itself with the forces of protection, liminal defense, and the ethics of will. Book 11. Yeah, there you go. Oh, actually it is correct in here. Okay. I just remember when I was editing, but I edited, there's 17 books, and when I was editing some of them, I just remember the book numbers were not correct. Okay, anyways. This book turns from defense toward cultivation, for what the walker protects ultimately is love. All the shields and wards and discernment practices of the prior books exist so that what is precious may survive. The walker who reads this book is called to read it wholly, not to receive only the chapters that bring comfort and to pass over the chapters that demand. The path does not permit selective wisdom. A walker who understands sacred union but has not studied the doctrine of distorted desire is only half equipped. A walker who knows the beauty of courtship rites but cannot discern false love is a walker in danger. Read all of this. Carry all of it. Let it make you wiser, more careful, more compassionate, and more courageous in the work of love, which is, in the end, the central work of any walker's life upon the earth. May the one who opens this book find herein not comfort only, but truth. Not permission only, but wisdom. Not romance only, but the full and luminous weight of love's sacred calling. So let it be open, so let it be received. I might just end it right here, because, let's see. Actually, yeah, no, we'll do chapter 1. Alright, the prologue has named the sacred bond and charged the walker to read the whole teaching without division. The first chapter now be what we're going to have to continue at another time, because it's going to take too long, and I can only do an hour. Alright, the first chapter now begins the work of discernment. Before love can be practiced well, the walker must learn to distinguish its forms, its motions, and the difference between desire that opens the hand and attachment that closes it. Chapter 1. All right. The doctrine of love seasons, understanding desire, eros, and agape. There is not one love in the world, but 6, and each is a season, and no season is lesser than another, for the earth needs all seasons to be alive. The elder instructor's first discourse on the nature of attachment. The 6 forms of love. The ancient philosophers of the Western world perceived that the word love was insufficient to contain what it was meant to name. They gave different names to different forms, and the path honors their precision while expanding it with the full breadth of human experience. The first form is eros, the love of passionate, embodied desire. It is the love of chemistry and magnetism, of longing across distance, of the quickened pulse, and the heightened awareness that comes when a particular person enters a room. Eros is not merely physical, though the body participates in it fully. It is the recognition of something in another that calls to the deepest and most vivid part of the self. Eros is neither less sacred nor... Eros is neither less sacred nor more sacred than any other form. It is the form most often misunderstood, romanticized by some traditions to the point of worship, and condemned by others as mere animal appetite. The path rejects both errors. Eros is a sacred signal. It is the deep self saying, here is someone who resonates with who I am and what I carry. The signal is not the relationship, but it may be the beginning of one. The second form is philia, the love of deep friendship and kinship by choice. It is the love that says, I know you entirely and I delight in you entirely. Philia is built over time through shared experience, through the exchange of true words, through the witnessing of one another across seasons of difficulty and ease. Many of the greatest loves in the walker's life will be of this form. Not romantic, not erotic, but as deep as any bond the path names sacred. The third form is storge, the love of familial affection, the love between parent and child, between siblings, between those who share a history and a blood or a hearth. Storge is the most instinctive of the loves, the love that arises before conscious choice. It is also the love most capable of deep wounding. For no one can hurt the walker as thoroughly as those who share storge with them. The path teaches that storge is not guaranteed to be healthy merely because it is instinctive. The love of a parent for a child can be possessive rather than freeing, controlling rather than nurturing. The love of siblings can calcify into rivalry or resentment. The path calls the walker to tend storge with the same intentionality, I don't know if I'm saying that right, applied to any other form of love. To ask, always, whether the love is oriented toward the genuine good of the beloved. The fourth form is pragma, the love of mature, committed partnership that has passed through the fires of testing and emerged as something quieter and deeper than its beginning. Pragma is not the absence of passion, but the transformation of it. Passion that has become stability, excitement that has become trust, the quickened pulse that has become the steady hand reaching for another hand in the dark. Pragma is, in many respects, the love most undervalued in the world's popular imagination, which tends to celebrate the early fire and regard the long companionship as lesser. The path names pragma the crown of committed love, not because it is better than the other forms, but because it is the form that has survived the most, and that survival is its own form of beauty. The fifth form is agape, the love that is unconditional, expansive, and not bound by particularity. Agape does not require that the beloved be worthy by any external measure. It is the love that sees the soul beneath the failing. And I do want to point out here, I just went off, right? But just because I went off doesn't mean that, like, I hold hatred in my heart for any of these dumb fucking assholes out here doing dumbass shit. Whether that be you or somebody else. Or myself. Right? There needs to be humility. There needs to be grace. Okay? there also needs to be fucking accountability. That's love, okay? Being able to take criticism and be fucking accountable for your dumbass mistakes. That's true leadership. That's true bravery. That's true courage. That's true admirability. That's true fucking character. And that's actually fucking attractive. So there's a difference between being attracted to somebody, whether it be platonically or romantically, and having love for them. You can have love for someone and not be attracted to them. You don't want a relationship with them. You don't want them to be a part of your life. Because why? Unless you're paying me to be your fucking therapist or something. You know. So, I will definitely, I'm not even gonna say that. Okay. People just really need to heavily consider who the fuck they're supporting financially. Okay? That's what I'm gonna say. Because like the pickle chick with the pool comes off as a Disney princess and all this other shit, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Think of all the waste that caused, all the fucking problems that caused in the environment. What did anybody gain from that? What did anybody gain from that? All right. Okay, so it is the love that sees the soul beneath the failing, the light beneath the shadow, the person beneath the wound. Agape is what the great spiritual traditions have pointed to when they have spoken of divine love. The love that does not transact, does not require reciprocity. You are what you love, not what loves you. And does not withdraw when the beloved is at their worst. Now, with that, it's like, if someone is genuinely like rubbing you the wrong way, and they're being like abusive in some way, or they're just like putting you in a shit mood and stuff, I mean, like, you could still love them from a distance. Okay, I believe everybody deserves a living wage. Don't get me wrong with that. Okay. But for motherfuckers who are out here doing dumb shit and causing problems in society and doing stupid shit like this, they should not be fucking rich, okay? They should not have a shit ton of money. Why? Why would they be given power? Why are y'all giving them power? That's not love. That's called being a dumbass fucking idiot. The path teaches that agape is not a higher love than the others, but a different love. One that does not replace the other five, but completes them. A walker who has agape is capable of loving even those who have wronged them, not with the naive love that invites continued harm, but with the spacious love that sees the humanity of the other and refuses to reduce them to what they have done. Yeah, I mean, that goes to saying, like, there's good and bad in everybody. Everybody has potential. Okay. But again, accountability. Take the fucking rose-colored glasses off. The sixth form is philatia, the love of the self, the healthy love of the self. The path is explicit and unambiguous. The walker cannot love well that which they do not love in themselves. This is not the love of pride or narcissism, the love that demands admiration and cannot bear a limit. It is the love that says, I am worthy of care, and therefore I offer care. I am worthy of honesty, and therefore I am honest. I am worthy of time and attention and gentleness, and therefore I give these to those I love. The walker who lacks philatia will seek in every bond they form what they have not yet given themselves. This is the root of much of the suffering in love. See, something that just came up here is like a lot of these influencers and stuff, they take, you know, what is the crowd, you know, it's good to get input from your audience or whatever, but they take what the crowd tells them to do, or like I said, like they just follow the status quo or whatever and what's popular or trending, and then they go along the bandwagon without sticking to what their soul is begging them to actually cover or do, or even just being consistent and stuff, and just not going off the fucking rails off on some, you know, side quest of like immorality or like virtue signaling or like disguised morality that's being influenced by these elite idiots. If people had a true sense of love for themselves, they would be able to have that more of a discernment inside, to where, you know, a suggestion from a fucking demon, it is not gonna allure them to do. Okay. Because all that demon's doing is fucking laughing at you because you fell into their trap. This is not the love of pride or narcissism, the love that demands admiration and cannot bear limit. It is the love that says, I am worthy of care, and therefore I offer care. I am worthy of honesty, and therefore I am honest. I am worthy of time and attention and gentleness, and therefore I give these to those I love. The walker who lacks philatia will seek in every bond they form what they have not yet given themselves. This is the root of much of the suffering in love, not malice, but incompleteness. The cultivation of philatia is therefore not a selfish act, but a gift to every person the walker will ever love. Again, gentleness, though, is not like, that's like, you know, gentle parenting or whatever. Like, sometimes you need to be a little fucking rough. You need to be a little tough. What do you think tough love comes from? And that doesn't mean being a fucking villain. It means, you know, being raw and real and honest is what people really need a lot of the times. And too many people can't fucking handle the truth because too much of this shit is numbed out and sugar-coated by brain rot and mindless fucking crap. Thus the elder instructors taught, tend the garden of yourself before you offer flowers from it. What you give from abundance is a gift. What you give from depletion is a wound wearing the mask of generosity. The Two Worlds Path teaches that all 6 forms of love are sacred when oriented toward the good. None is higher than the other. Each serves its season, and the walker who is alive to all 6 is the walker most fully capable of the love that the world needs from them. The three laws of love's motion. The path sets forth 3 universal laws that govern every sacred bond. They are the structural pillars without which no bond can be called sacred, regardless of the feeling it carries or the name it bears. The first law, love must be freely given and freely received. No compulsion, no pressure, and no engineered situation in which one person has no meaningful choice. Love demanded or extracted is not love, it is tribute. The first law extends in both directions. It is as wrong to compel love as to weaponize affection's withdrawal. Love moves freely or it does not truly move. The second law, love must be oriented toward the genuine good of the beloved, not the possession of them. The desire to be with a person, to be known by them, to share life with them. This is the desire of love. The desire to own a person, to control their choices, to determine who they may know and what they may become. This is the desire of fear wearing love's clothing. The second law is often violated by those who love intensely but have not yet learned the difference between love and possession. The path does not condemn such walkers, it calls them to grow. Love that cannot release the beloved when release is needed has confused itself with ownership. The third law, love must be honest. Deception poisons every form of bond without exception. This applies not only to outright falsehood, but to omission, to performance, to the careful management of impressions that presents only what is appealing and conceals what is true. The path teaches that the walker who loves through a mask does not allow themselves to be loved. Only the mask is loved. And the day the mask slips is the day the bond fractures at its root. Honesty in love is not cruelty. The path distinguishes between truth-telling that serves the beloved's genuine good and truth-telling deployed as a weapon. The weaponized honesty that says, I'm only being truthful while aiming for a wound. True honesty in love is offered with care, with timing, and the question always present. Does sharing this serve the one I love, or does it serve only my need to discharge it? Number 3, the difference between desire and attachment. The path draws a careful distinction that many of the world's wisdom traditions have also named in their own languages and symbols, the difference between desire and attachment. Desire in the path's teaching is a living signal. It is the self's movement toward what it loves, what it values, and what calls to the deepest part of it. Desire is generative. It is what makes the walker reach toward beauty, toward connection, toward meaning. Desire is not the enemy of the spiritual life. It is one of its primary engines. Attachment in the path's teaching is the desire that has become fixed, that has transformed from an opening into a grip. Attachment is the desire to fix, to own, to ensure that the beloved remains in the configuration most comfortable to the one who loves them. Attachment says, I need this person to be exactly this way and exactly this place, available to me in exactly this manner, or I cannot be well. Desire loves, attachment clings. Desire celebrates the beloved's growth and freedom. Attachment fears it. Desire can survive the absence of the beloved, with sorrow perhaps, but intact. Attachment cannot survive the beloved's departure without collapse, and this vulnerability makes it dangerous. For it is from attachment, not desire, that the worst acts in love's name arise. The path does not ask the walker to extinguish desire. It asks the walker to watch desire carefully, to know the moment it begins to grip rather than love, to notice when the warmth of love has become the heat of possession, and to return always to the open hand. The elder instructors taught this with a simple image. Hold the beloved as you would hold water from a clear stream. Cupped hands open, allowing it to rest but never closing your fists around it. The moment your hands close, you no longer have water. You have only the impression of it. The 7 seasons of a bond. The path names 7 seasons through which a deep and committed bond may pass. These are not stages of failure or success, but phases of life, each with its own gifts, its own challenges, and its own particular teachings. They are introduced here and explored fully in Chapter 3. The first season is the season of the spark, the initial arising of attraction or recognition, the first knowing that something is present between two souls. The second season is the season of recognition, the opening of mutual acknowledgement, the simple and courageous naming of what is felt. The third season is the season of the feather, the sustained period of knowing, care, and devotion without demand, the testing of constancy over time. The fourth season is the season of deepening, the opening of the full self, the sharing of history and wound and hope, the meeting of the community of the beloved. The fifth season is the season of betrothal, the formal, witnessed, community-held declaration of intention toward union. The sixth season is the season of union, the sacred marriage rite constructed from the couple's traditions and the path's framework. The seventh season is the season of legacy, the lifelong work of tending the bond, the rites of renewal, the gift of what has been built to all who come after. The path teaches that not every bond passes through all 7 seasons, and that this is not failure. Some bonds are meant to bloom in the first 2 seasons and release with grace. Some deepen to the 4th and must be relinquished there for reasons that have nothing to do with unworthiness on either part. The path honors every season as complete in itself. See book 11, chapter 9, the ethical constraints of the operator on the nature of will and consent. which forms the foundational framework for understanding choice within any bond. So, what the path does not honor is the absence of intention, the bond that drifts without awareness, that passes through seasons neither party has named or chosen, that arrives at a place of deep entanglement without either person having fully agreed to go there. The path asks the walker to walk the seasons with eyes open and will engaged. Let the walker understand then the full richness of what they are called to. Love is not merely a feeling that arrives and that the walker then follows wherever it leads. Love is a practice, a discipline, a series of daily choices, a craft that is learned and refined across a lifetime. The walker who understands this is not less romantic for it. They are more loving. For they love not only when it is easy, but when it requires something of them. And that is the only love that truly counts. Blessed is the walker who loves with eyes open and hands unclosed. Blessed is the one who has learned to give freely, Blessed is the one who has learned to give freely what was once hoarded in fear. Blessed is every season of love, whether it ends in union or in release, for both are sacred and both are the work of the living soul. So it is taught, so it is received. Having learned the inner grammar of love, its forms, laws, seasons, and dangers of attachment, the walker is ready to look outward. Chapter 2 turns from doctrine to inheritance, asking how the world's peoples have embodied love in ceremony, witness, patience, consent, and communal care. Since we're on the topic of love, we're going to do a quick card pull. Pick a card for the love alchemy. 1 through 3. Pick a number quick. 1 through 3. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, number 1. You got destiny outcome, guidance, soul contracts, timelines, the soulmate thread. Healthy, kindred spirits meeting across timelines. Your souls recognize each other before your minds do. You got it in the uprights. All right, number 2. What it do, number 2? Whoa, that popped right out. Toxic, watching from afar without honesty. The other partner's lover's energy towards you. The secret admirer. Someone thinks of you more often than you realize. If it was healthy, quiet love, preparing for courage. So maybe you need to step up and stop being a little bitch. Okay, number 3, what it be? Number 3, you got the ancestors whisper. Repeating ancestral patterns. You got it in reverse. Forces, unseen, spiritual and emotional underworld. Your ancestors nudge you towards healthier love, okay? So, that is the message for y'all. And I will catch you in the next one.